it's just critical that we take action now, as you guys already know, and that's why you're here. So the good news is we have big solutions. Anybody watch the Jon Stewart show last night with Al Gore?
Yeah.
Did anybody, I mean, God love, I was talking with Dan, God love Al Gore. I mean, he's the greatest guy about talking about the problem, but I sort of felt like he missed the opportunity of explaining the simplest of the solution. The solutions, I mean, John kept trying to goad him into, I don't know, finding the silver bullet to the problem, and there's of course no one single silver bullet, although I think solar power comes close to it. But the solutions are big, they're pretty simple actually. Industry would like us to think that this is way too complicated for us to do. We know differently, and that we've already started to make tremendous progress. In states that are really investing in energy efficiency, for example, we're starting to see our energy usage reduced by 1 to 2 percentage points per year. That's huge, because as our population and economy continue to grow, to be able to become more efficient at the same time is the #1 core underlying solution to global warming. Secondly, wind power. You guys have the big wind turbine, it's on your shirts. We're building 3 nuclear power plants worth of wind power each year in the United States. Solar power, I'm sure you guys have heard this fact before. More sunshine falls, enough energy comes from the sun falling on the planet in 1 hour than the whole world uses in a whole year. And we're getting better and better at harnessing that power and turning it into energy, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper. In fact, solar power, the price of solar power has dropped 75% in the past decade, and even 10% alone in the past year. We're getting closer to the solutions, putting them in the hands of everyday people. And I want to actually pause. We don't need nuclear power. This is my own personal campaign to educate, especially young people. I know on college campuses across the country, there's this misinformation out there that we need nuclear power to solve global warming. The truth is actually quite the opposite. We're about to put out a report. Keep your eyes out for it if you're interested in diving into the details on this. But investing in nuclear power actually not only won't solve the problem, but it sets us back. It'll set us up for failure. And the simple reason is because time and money are of the essence. The length of time it'll take us to build nuclear power plant is way too long for us to solve global warming with that energy source. And secondarily, it is the most expensive way to boil water. And for every $1 we spend on nuclear power, we could get 5 times more carbon reductions through clean energy solutions. So just chew on that and look for it. Solutions, that is taking action, the theme of this whole conference. And I want to just share with you a story of mine of fighting for the Million Solar Roofs initiative, and how much fun it really, really can be, and what propels me to keep doing it year after year. Basically, our goal of that campaign, which we launched in 2004, was to basically take solar power to a whole new level. Instead of being sort of the sideshow, we want to make solar power the cornerstone of America's energy supply. And we wanted to think big. So we came out with this idea of let's build 1 million solar roofs in California in 10 years. We pitched this idea to the state legislature, to the media, to the politicians. We were fortunate enough, no matter what you think about the guy, that Arnold Schwarzenegger, running for governor, picked up on the idea. He made it part of his campaign promise that he was going to do this. Well, yeah, so that was pretty cool. He actually, obviously, won the election, became governor. Well, we had a bill that was essentially going to accomplish this goal. We weren't actually getting anywhere with the governor. It was 8 months into the legislative session, and we couldn't even get his staff to return our phone calls despite his campaign promise. So what we did was we went to our members, and we went to the public, and we asked people through the internet to donate $25, $35, $50, whatever people could afford, because we were going to run an ad in the Los Angeles Times. We got thousands of dollars donated within just a couple of days, and we ran an ad that basically showed a caricature of Schwarzenegger in kind of a cape, saying, keep your promise to build 1 million solar roofs. That day, I was told by a friend, that's an ally within his staff, that he reads the newspaper every day, as most politicians do, and he called an emergency meeting. And he had his staff at this big, long conference table in what's called the Horseshoe in the California State Capitol. And he sat down, he had all his staff there, and they're sort of like the angel and the devil on his shoulder, like in cartoons. And he had the this is totally good. We need to make this a priority. We had the brown, black devil guys going, no, 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 this is, stupid or whatever. He listened to both sides for a couple of minutes, and then, I swear this is not just a myth that's developed over the past couple of years, he pounded his fist, totally within sort of this character of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He pounded his fist, Mike has heard, Mike Raven told the story, I'm sure, and said, you don't understand, I want solar roofs. And tried to help us push it through. Unfortunately, it was a little too late in the year, and we had a lot of opposition from the utility companies. They managed to stall the bill in the legislature. We came back the next year. It took us a couple years to eventually win the entire campaign, and we only did it through building momentum. The student groups in California were incredibly helpful. They organized on campus to build support. They got professors signed on to contact their legislature. They did press events. They came and lobbied at the Capitol. Students were a huge cornerstone of our campaign, as well as citizens. We generated more public comments on this one bill, the Million Solar Roofs bill, than all other sort of left public interest issues combined. I know this because every legislator, believe it or not, keeps a tally of what they hear from their citizens, their constituents on. They tally it by the issue and by the bill. So when you think about the phone calls you make or the postcards you generate, they really do count and get tallied. Anyway, it was a tremendous campaign. It was a lot of fun. We did lots of cool actions all across the state. We had these cardboard cutouts of Schwarzenegger from the Terminator, and we put a suit and a tie on him. And we took it out across the state and took photo postcards of citizens standing there with honor going, let's do it, be our solar hero. When we sent those into the governor. And it was just an amazing cross-section of society, of people joining together calling for solar power. And in the end, we, as Charles mentioned, we passed the nation's largest program for solar power, the Million Solar Roofs Initiative, $3.2 billion invested in solar. So far, just a couple years into the program. To meeting that goal by 2016. We have doubled the amount of solar power in California in just 2 years. That's doubled what it's taken us to install over the past 10. And people are basically going gangbusters for solar power in California. We, of course, have much more to go, and there's a lot more policies and things that we need to put on the books. But this was a huge step. And I think at the end of the day, because we fought opposition through citizen power, through student power, and activism and action, and just had a lot of fun while doing it, we basically expanded people's horizons of what's possible. Now 1 million seems small, and that to me is an accomplishment in and of itself.